Hey folks, welcome to a brand new video. It's 21 Maxwell here, and it's time for some TEW AEW Double or Nothing 2026. Really looking forward to this one. A lot of storylines kind of either come ahead here or they kind of start going to the next level, but a lot of them there is kind of turning points here. So I'm really happy with the card we've put together. I think we're over about 14 matches, probably about a 23 segment show, but something I'm really proud that we've put together. There is a wee announcement from an in-game event, which we'll cover as we get to it. And unfortunately, because we have the event on the Saturday, not the Sunday, I was one day off having a motivational speech. But as I say, everything's flowed well towards this event. Let's hope it pays off. So without further ado, sit back, relax, chill. Here comes Double or Nothing 2026. So I'm glad to report live on the AEW Plus network, in front of 93,607 fans in the Los Angeles Memorial Coliseum. And we started off with a ladder match. We had 7 men enter. The winner will also get an opportunity in the future for the championship. So this winner is going to get a chance. The winner of the Owen Hart tournament is going to get a chance at the World Championship. So we're really giving ourselves a lot of kind of stories going forward. And it was about that had superb wrestling and great heat. And it was the Super Elites Hangman Adam Page who defeated Pac, Andrade Alilo, Ricochet, Will Ospreay, Swerve Strickland and Sammy Guevara in a ladder match in 1644 when Hangman retrieved the item. So a good start to the night for the Super Elite. We'll be intrigued to see if that carries on. He'll get an opportunity in the future for the World Championship. You can see there performance wise, pretty solid across the board there, the weakest being Swerve Strickland with an 80. I've also got Sammy looking a little bit stale. Andrade's foreshadowing a heel turn. There's big plans for him down the line, but we're not going to be in a rush to make that happen. Next up, it was usually getting people on the card here, obviously like making sure all the big names are covered. We just had a little alliance between Jade and Mercedes, obviously a well documented history. They were part of the baddies together, then they had the big feud, but they've came together to take on Becky and Kyrie, and it was a superb matchup, and it was Becky and Kyrie Hojo defeating the baddies in 16-19 when Kyrie pinned Mercedes with the spear. 81. Pretty solid stuff across the board. I think we'll start to make a change in Mercedes' character, bring in Mercedes Monet instead of Mercedes Vernado. But I really want to try and do something going forward with Kyrie, so she picks up the win. Next up, we then had the men's Owen Hart tournament final. It was a bout that had superb wrestling and great heat as Keith Lee defeats Kevin Steen in 13:34 with a Spirit Bomb, following a distraction from Switchblade Jay White. So the Super Elite making sure that Kevin Steen doesn't become the number one contender, and that Keith Lee alongside Hangman will get opportunities for the world title in the future. So Keith Lee's your winner, and that means they're going to have a lot of heat behind Generico and Steen versus Jay White and Adam Cole later tonight. So an 83, pretty respectable, as Keith Lee picks up the Owen. Obviously they lost a bit because of the double babyface. So this one's been a lot of feud that's been taking place on Rampage. Obviously Garcia and Danielson coming to the aid of Takeshita because of the feud they've had in the past. William Regal's boys, Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne and Zack Sabre Jr. causing havoc. So we've had a 6-man tag here. And it was about that had good wrestling and a decent reaction from the audience as Konosuke Takeshita, Daniel Garcia and Bryan Danielson defeat Tyler Bate, Pete Dunne and Zack Sabre Jr. in 13:51 when Takeshita submitted Tyler Bate with a wall of Takeshita. He also had the best performance in 90, head and shoulders above the rest. We probably should have done Kenny against Takeshita again, but there we go. But unfortunately he suffers a strained wrist, so that's going to take him out of action for a little bit. We'll keep our TNT champion to the side just to make sure he's fine. But 77, not too bad. Bates the worst performance, but he's not really over in this mod, so I really need to start actually giving him wins because he always seems to be the fall guy. And Pete Dunne's somebody that probably should be main eventing, but for some reason have never pulled the trigger. Cheers for that, Hidey. Next up, we're going to have the IWGP United States Championship on the line as Ricky Starks challenges Kenny Omega. And we have an elaborate entrance because the Revolution will, of course, all be televised. That's a 71. And a little curveball. I decided to have a fantastic heat, great wrestling as absolute Ricky Starks defeat Kenny Omega in 24:31 with a Buster Keaton, meaning the IWGP US Championship goes to Ricky Starks. I feel he's got a lot of skills that we need to try and improve in this game. He's got a pop cat, which isn't great. It just means then with Kenny we can have the frustration of this, and he can kind of do other things. I kind of want to see, once the Super Elite stuff done, it is going to move people about, so Kenny could be one of those guys, and I might go for Takeshita Kenny down the line again. Or, Kenny could look for revenge here. Kenny could look at, there's a lot of options basically. He could look at world title down the line. He's 44, and that worries me though. Next up, we both had some good heat and decent wrestling. So basically in the whole feud against MJF, Jack Perry lost the All Atlantic Championship to Carmelo Casanova, to him. So he obviously gets his rematch, but Carmelo does have a bit of an injury. I can't remember exactly what it is. It's short term, but like he can work through it. But he wins in at 9:51 with the Fedora Frog Splash, giving him his 4th defence of the belt. So adding a bit more prestige to an All Atlantic Championship. Probably would have been maybe a low 80 had Carmelo not have that injury, but starting to give him a decent push. Wow. So obviously Demi had earned this opportunity for the World Championship, and she took on Mayu Iwatani, and these ladies put on an exceptional matchup as Mayu defeated Demi Bennett in 21:32 with the Frog Splash, making her 8th defence of the AEW Women's World title. And 92 and 95 plays in 87, fantastic stuff. Demi's maybe not quite got the stats I'd quite like it to have in this game, but she's over as hell. But if we're looking at gaining prestige in this Women's Championship, which for some reason is still lower than the TBS, then Mayu Iwatani is going to be the sole reason for that, because matches are just banger after banger. So good to see that from our women's division. A little promo backstage from Hangman, and he just says he's looking forward to checking on the main event, whether it's Walter or whether it's going to be MJF. He'll be challenging in the future. He says he took note of Keith Lee. Obviously that was kind of the plan, because the Super Elite were always going to get Kevin Steen. But he says just in case Kevin Steen got the job done, he was going to make sure, that championship comes to the Super Elite and it goes around Hangman's waist. So in 86 for the promo. So we have a few words here from Kana. It says hyping her upcoming words to Demi Bennett. She just basically gives her props here and just basically says it was a great effort. She's pleased to see how the future generation of AEW women's wrestler is in good hands. She's sure that Demi will have a good performance in the future. She talks about her matchup tonight. She's challenging for the Queen of AEW Championship. She says she wants to win one more championship because in 3 months' time, Kana's retiring. And the first thing I did was ask her, can you not retire? But she said she definitely is. She's still putting on banger after banger. But basically just before All Out, she'll be retiring. It's on the Friday before it. So really, really sad stuff there. So we'll have a tribute show for Kana, and that'll probably be the wee show just before All Out. So she's going to be challenged, I say, for Priscilla Kelly's Queen of AEW Championship, but just gutted because she's so good. So good. And here she puts on a 75 rated match, although I don't know why. Probably a bad roll, because you get an 88 and an 80. Both of them being babyfaces, would it cost it that much? Oh well. Anyway, but they had great heat and good wrestling. Priscilla Kelly defeats Kana in 13:54 with a Tilt-A-Whirl Dragon Sleeper. So it's a submission victory, giving her the 13th defence of the Queen of AEW Championship. Now obviously it was the Queen of FCW. It doesn't have a lot of prestige. That's why she's defending it constantly. And these matches will help that. She's probably ready to drop it because the feud, but we had to place Kana just before, and she's now like high 70 over, so she's pretty close to being able to drop that belt, leave Carnage and go to the other two rosters. With Kana, it's just a case of let's give her every sort of banger she can have before she goes, and let's give her an opportunity to have some really good matches against younger talent as well to put them over. So she'll be wrestling a lot in a big farewell tour. And then a little confrontation backstage. Keith Lee bumps into Hangman, just saying, I heard you a few words earlier on. Now I don't care what the hell the problem is between the Super Elite and Kevin Steen. It's not my issue. But I'll be watching this championship match tonight as well. Both of those men have a target in their back. You're going to have a target in your back. Keith Lee will leave 2026 at one point as world champion, and nothing the Super Elite can do to stop that. So obviously Hangman gets a bit kind of, because he's obviously a heel in this instance, and that's an 85. Next up, with a bout that had fantastic heat and good wrestling. This feud's been going for a while on Carnage. Obviously, the bodyguard formerly of Logan Paul, Hook, took on Logan Paul, and Logan Paul wins in 9:44 with underhanded tactics, giving him his second defence of the belt. Lucky psychology cost it, and it was just a 68. Both of them are over. It's like 80 over versus 92 over. I was thinking to put it on Hook, but I feel like Logan Paul, I just want to keep on Carnage, just purely for the promos to make sure we don't lose much pop on that show. Hook can eventually leave that brand, and he's going to have opportunities on other brands, because they say it's about developing his stats. His overness isn't an issue, but Logan Paul gets the win. It's a good time for him and his friend Matty Wahlberg. Next up, we had a bout for the AEW World Tag Team Championships. The Briscoes were getting their opportunity here, and it was a bout that had great wrestling and a decent reaction from the crowd. The Briscoes defeat FTR in 12:20 when Jay Briscoe pinned Cash Wheeler with the Judy Driller. The Briscoes won the AEW World Tag Team Championships, and 87 is a fantastic show there. 85 for Jay, 91 for Cash, 82 for Dax. I did make it a steely show, so just went and go for it, give them hell. And yeah, it's just shown we have a really strong tag division. So delighted with that win there. For the Briscoes, they celebrate after, which gets a 67. Pretty good stuff there. Then move along. A few words from Kevin Steen and El Generico. Kevin said he's absolutely frustrated from what happened earlier on, but he is going to make them pay. Generico, see, doesn't really say so much in English, but Kevin just says he knows what Generico is all about. They're going to kick Jay White and Adam Cole's ass. 184, quite disappointed by that. I thought they were doing a lot better. But in about that superb wrestling and great heat, Generico and Steen defeat Jay White and Adam Cole in 21:37 when Generico pinned Adam Cole with a brainbuster. 84, look at that performance from Kevin Steen, and 96. Really, really good stuff, but I feel like the Super Elite had a great start to the night. They're slowly slacking, and it gets a bit of revenge for Generico and Kevin Steen, or as we'll know him now, as Steen Rico. One of the first tag teams I'd saw in EWR back in the day, when I didn't know what Ring of Honor was. So obviously with this one, Tyler Black and John Moxley, storied history, John Moxley helping him out before Tyler Black turned his back and brought in Ben Carter, his protege. We all know about John Moxley's young boy, the shooter shot at Uno, and he's joined forces with him. And here we had a superb matchup as Tyler Black and Ben Carter defeat Moxley and Umino in 13:40 when Tyler Black pinned Umino while using the ropes for leverage. The weak link was Ben Carter, just a 69. Moxley gets a 91 off his game. Good to see the excellent chemistry between Moxley and Umino, but the 85 gives the heels the victory, and it gives Umino and Moxley something to chase. We then had the little matchup between CM Punk and Cody Rhodes. Obviously Punk's moaning he's still the best in the world, and it was about that had fantastic heat and good wrestling. I gave Cody the win over Punk in 10:17 with the Crossroads. 81, 83 for Cody, 63 for Punk. Punk's done basically, technically, in this game. So I had a little segment after it here. So the problem is that this was obviously meant to be loser leaves town. So CM Punk's like, I'm not leaving, it was a fluke, you could never do it again. So basically the plan is here, CM Punk has a 3 month left on his contract, right? I'm assuming this will go live literally just after Revolution, but I still believe Punk is done and won't be back. So can't wait till that's wrong, but anyway. So the plan is, I'll just do it all out, Rhodes and Punk again, one final time. Punk loses, he's gone, and then I can just let that contract expire. And it gives me a cheap promo of a 95 there. So, could have went with him against somebody else, but I just feel like we'll have it with Cody, and then we can have a big Cody redemption arc into the latter half of the year. So already book in for All Out, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk 2. Then moved on to the final of the Women's Owen Hart tournament. And it was a superb matchup that saw Anna Jay defeat Yuka Sakazaki in 13:44 by using underhanded tactics, i.e. a distraction by her tag team partner Britt Baker, meaning that Anna Jay wins the Owen Women's Tournament. 83 overall and 86 from Yuka and 81 from Anna. She still maybe isn't the best technically, but you cannot argue with overness. It's in the high 80s, and I'd like to see her get another opportunity against Mayu Iwatani. So good stuff there. Just the inconsistency of Yuka as the only negative. Is that co-main event? I think we might need the World Championship soon. Let's find out. We have the celebration with Anna and Britt first, which is an 83. Good stuff. We have the elaborate entrance for MJF. The crowd boo him as he comes down to some extravagant entrance. So it's all going to be down to this. Can MJF and Walter produce a banger for the World Championship of the World? And it's a 96, so no 100 here. And it's an exceptional matchup. Walter defeats MJF in 24:05 with a lariat as he makes his 6th defence of the World Championship. So 96 overall. The plan was to put the title back on MJF, but I just feel Walter is producing banger after banger after banger. So why would you take the World Championship away from someone producing the goods like that? So he remains as champion. I think the show maybe do like a 98, 296s for best promo and best matchup, plus your little boosts from all your celebrities. Oh no, it got 100, that's a bit odd, but possibly could be because some of the other matches on the show also done well, like Sevilla, Iwatani and Bennett. Doing well, obviously decent promo from Hangman, and then the Briscoes against FTR was pretty damn good as well, and obviously the opener, so maybe that is the case. Quite a few light blue there actually, so overly shocked at that. As I say, I need to add that to the list to make sure we're closing in on the 50 shows achievement, which will still be a mile away. But overall, really happy with how that show went. As long as the big ones are kind of hitting the mark with good storyline progression, good matches, and truly feel like an A pay-per-view, then I'll be absolutely delighted with them. I'm just going to quickly pause this and we'll jump into the main screen, because in 2026 there is a hell of a lot of data that's processed now. So let's take a look then and see what the situation is. Absolute success, that's good to see. Mima Shimoda has passed away at the age of 55. Rose Ogawa as well. Takeshita, just a few days, that's not too bad. With regards to that, we'll just ignore Byron. Sure everybody does anyway. Amazing Red is going to leave the business, so never mind retire. Katsumura, I meant to mention as well, Shinsuke Nakamura is another one that's retired. Just kind of forgot to book him in a match and he left. Lana Austin, Frank Mir, just to name a few there, so that's quite interesting. And we'll just confirm a new contract for Chris Statlander. Most of these are talents that are working in Impact. Bobby Roode's road agent, just Jimmy Uso and Camille on our main roster. You can see here a lot of development contracts that are up for issue. Stardom is now available to Owen. Could buy them. But the main thing here, Shane McMahon says that Yuka's too small. I still was meant to bring in stables for Shane McMahon, Paul Heyman, and it's never happened. So I've been trying to rush through shows, but a 40.58, 30 million viewers, obviously a 0 buy rate, because why would you pay it when it's on television? So that's fine. So I wanted to check was a few things here. So the company wars, the top 100s, that's my tour company. I think we know who the top people are. So I'm assuming, well, it's good that we get 2 100 rated shows in 2026. I believe in terms of counting towards my achievements, only the 2 in 2026 count, because I changed PC and they reset roughly around where the Halloween Horror Show is, down in P10 there, the 98, so only those 2 will count. But mad to find now we have 400 rated shows and just a 100 rated match, but as I say, at least we're on the road with regards to those achievements. Are these up for getting bought yet? Nope, despite being nearly 5 million in debt. I'm going to buy them at one point. They've done bad things to me, so I'm going to buy them. I'm assuming didn't think it'd be an option. I just thought you'd get no owner, you could just buy, but apparently not. I'm going to see if we can maybe get people in like AZM at one point. I know the Stardom exclusive handshake, but instead of just loaning them in, I'll maybe, well, we'll maybe be a wee edit to the Stardom True Bond to actually get them in, because the exclusive handshake just rules them out. You can never sign them, you can only get them in on loan. Maybe we need to do that going forward, but we'll rule out any sort of title run. So just want to check in terms of the roster, so you can see their high man now 85, 86, these are showing there. Adam Cole's 83, I don't know if that's, I don't think he's pop capped 83, I think he can go a little bit higher than that. The ones I wanted to check is Punk's still showing as 90 over, that's what I wanted to put people over him. But you can see that the stats are done, stamina's 42, he's angry, so hopefully just maybe, you know, walks out. That's ideal we're hoping for. Demi, 87, apart from in Hawaii. She's been doing great stuff there. Hook we talked about, pop cap to 80. Maybe just need to improve his stats there. And the final one I just wanted to look at was, of course, well, Takeshita. You can see I think he's capped at 81, but the stats are really, really good. But there's going to be Mayu Iwatani, who is pop capped at 92. Or is it 90 now? Was she ever 92 over? She got to 91. You can tell. That's what a push does for you. Win after win after win after win. And she's going to carry that belt. That's for sure. So you can see here now, TBS Championship 74 Prestige with Bailey Rose. Didn't even fit it on the show. And the Women's Championship 71. But the Prestige is already gaining massively. And yeah, hopefully that can continue. So just confirm then, you have winners now of the Women's Own, me, Saruga, Bailey Rose and Anna Jay. And the Men's Own, Adam Cole, Taylor Black, Walter and Keith Lee. Keith Lee, we're hoping to get anything like the success that Walter's had in the last year. Speaking of which, I need to scroll all the way down. Surely he must be close to the wall of the Immortals with what he's producing. Surely. I mean, that's all his titles, right? And just with AEW, you've got the Owen and you've got the 2 World Championship reigns and the achievements, 25%. But maybe if he's Power 500, maybe higher than 7, he'll be a wee bit closer to that. And last but not least, we did add people to the Hall of Fame. They were the retiring Serena Deeb, who we entered in. Who else did we enter in? I do all we have Ray Phoenix in, and I've brought him back as an active competitor. Was it Matt Hardy? Who was 2026? Let's have a wee quick look. So, January 25 for Edge and Christian, 25 September for AJ, 24 for Billy Gunn, 22 for Brett, 2026 Chavo died in game, that's why Chavo's in. Yep. Jericho 2024, Christian 2025, Daniels 2025, Dean 2022, Edge 2025, Kazarian 2025, Jake at the start, Jerry Lynn at the start, JR at the start, Mahardy 2025, Mick at the start, Mickey James at the start, Suzuki at 2025, Phoenix 24, Serena 26, Shawn Michaels 24, a former AEW World Champion, remember, Austin 25, Tony Khan 25, and Tony Schiavone. We'll probably add in, and I'll do it after the video, Jeff Hardy and Rey Mysterio and Shinsuke Nakamura for the retirements. And the people we can add in is Cash Wheeler, Dax Harwood and FTR. But they're not retiring, so there's no point in doing that just yet. So that's going to be it for this particular episode. If you look at our events, and you'll have a little notice and see of what is upon us. Fighter Fest is in 4 weeks' time, then a week after that straight to Battle of the Belts, then Fight for the Fallen. Then, instead of Legends of the Sky, it will be obviously a tribute to Kana, and then All Out. So pretty much go over the next couple of weeks, and hopefully we can have as many banging shows as possible. So cheers for watching. Thank you very much. If you liked it, drop a wee thumbs up, it'd be much appreciated. Remember to check out the Grey Dog Software forums, the Fantasy Booker subreddit, and until next time, I'll see you then. Bye bye, thanks for watching.